just have this sinking feeling that like there's shit that's gonna go poorly. Like that's gonna happen that Amaya is somehow not prepared for and like everything is gonna go south. And
So
I'm hoping I'm wrong.
don't get me wrong. I am hyper bummed that both Barca and Ember are not able to join us today. He said mostly for the benefit of the people watching. But there's a part of me that is also kind of glad
By
that
people
neither of them
watching.
are able to join today because I do not think either of them, within the auspices of playing their characters, would be able to contain themselves to just watch Amaya fight this dude.
I think they would, if people were going to not do it, not watch patiently, I think those two would have the hardest time, yeah.
I'm not
Absolutely.
saying that Gavin won't want to get involved and might get involved if things go real south, but
Well, there's probably one other person that I would also include in that, which would be Amaya's sister.
Yeah, nobody cares about her. It's fine.
Yeah. What? I say again, beg pardon?
I said what I said.
Amaya, just to let you know, I don't know if it matters for the stream, but I don't know if you're putting your character name for your Zoom name.
yes,
Oh.
fortunately, Schmoopsy's Zoom name is cut off, but you might want to change it in case something happens.
Fair enough.
Sure.
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome back to the further tales of the intrepid crew, the Berezaya Argia. When last we left off, our crew, having rescued Ember in a harrowing escape that unfortunately has also led Zaya into a bit of a cunning trap, as Zaya, as while the party was for the most part rescuing Ember, one of the Inspired had managed to teleport on board Zaya and through some evil shenanigans and trap Zaya's soul, for lack of a better term, in a soul prison, and causing the corporeal body that is the ship Zaya to crash to the ocean. The ship did survive, although it was severely damaged. Although the airship that you assaulted to rescue Ember was also heavily damaged from the battle. So both ships not looking too terribly hot. In the time that your crew took to sort of recuperate, gain their senses, gain some rest as best they can, a crimson ship had approached. The corporeal form of Zaya floating in the ocean, and an oddly captained by an oddly shaped humanoid who I believe you guys recognize as actually an ultraloth, a demonic mercenary, at least as far as what the typical ones usually are. However, judging from this creature's intent, they were anything but typical. But they did offer their services in exchange for you to deal with a contest or trial, as it were, and that they would then bring you to your desired location, which is what you know from the history books of this ship, the boogeyman stories of this ship. You know, is what this ship and this captain is known for. After a brief period of time of sailing the sort of mist-shrouded waterways with this ship, with the corporeal body of your ship kind of being towed behind, you arrived ultimately at a river somewhere in Zendrick, just judging by the ruins, where a family of, you're guessing, storm giants or very large, powerful giants. We'll leave it at that. Were inhabiting, and it was the trial that you had agreed to was to defeat them. However, the party, being of solid moral character and mighty cleverness, decided to figure out a way to sort of shift, negotiate, basically a mutiny, if you would.
I believe the term that was used was flip the table.
Yes, flip the game table, as it were, and basically sort of volunteered the giant Volstagg, the leader of the giants, as well as their family, to basically get commissioned as the captain, and then for the trial to commence would be the former captain, this Ultralod, versus one of your own, to which Amaya volunteered. And that is pretty much where we're going to be starting things at the moment. Let me adjust the camera slightly to see if maybe, granted with the paper, sometimes it's hard to see the lines a little bit here. Maybe I can get it a little bit closer. It might help a little bit. Let's see.
All right.
That might have been too much. Okay, well, if I rotate the laptop so I can see what I'm doing, that also helps. 100%.
Crazy talk.
I know, right? No, it's a little bit better. Okay. So currently, as far as for the rest of you, I just set your figures kind of down on this end. That's kind of where the river is on the south side. I'll put that guy there. The giants have boarded the vessel. This is kind of where the giants' sort of encampment was, among the ruins, more or less. Amaya, where would you, in this area, where would you like to begin?
I mean, Amaya would probably be approaching it as a fairly honorable thing. So kind of, starting positions, touch gloves, that kind of thing.
Okay, so on the map, where do you want to start? So right now I've got you right here, if you can see that.
And where is my opponent?
Well, I'm kind of basing that on the map on where you want to go. I'm giving you the where you want to start on the map, I guess.
I guess then right smack dab in the middle.
So you're going to be like, say, here?
Yeah.
All right.
Surrounding area will kind of be our ring, and I'll kind of start right up with him as kind of the...
Okay.
Unless he wants to start from a hidden spot or something.
Nope. And then the captain is going to start right here. So you're about... you will be about... you're about 40 feet apart.
Okay.
And we're going to get right into it. So go ahead and roll an ish.
Okie dokie.
I'm going to remind Amaya that the temporary hit points from Inspiring Leader should still be in effect for you.
And that was 17 hit points, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Yep, still have that on my sheet.
Good. Just wanted to make sure it was there.
Would we have had any time to, say, buff Amaya before she went off?
I feel
Or
like
is that not allowed?
Might be cheating.
If you... Tell you what, as you prepare to perhaps buff Amaya, you see the captain look over at you, and you do hear in your mind, If you assist in the combat, that means you are partaking, which means I will bring others in as well.
I'm not assisting in the combat.
You are. If you cast that spell.
Oh, fine. Party
Oh,
pooper.
good. Amaya's got this. And Amaya also got a 19 with a +5 for initiative.
Nice. I suppose then when I said I should roll initiative, I should probably do that for myself too. And Captain got a 9, so you will definitely be going first.
Okay.
So you're about 40 feet apart currently.
Okay.
And,
Starting bell
let the
rings.
chaos begin.
All right. Amaya will move right up next to him.
Okay.
And she's going to start out swinging. Oh, and I guess I should clarify. By this point, would we have had time to attune to the magical items that we grabbed from the Inspired's body, like the Staff of Striking and all of that?
We had whatever time we had on the
ship. Would you have
ship.
attuned to it during your journey to get here?
I mean, once we knew what it was, then yeah.
But you didn't know what the event was till you got here.
Well,
Yeah,
it wouldn't have been attuned for this particular event, but would have been like the plan was to unattune one item and attune this because it was just better.
So you would have had time to have attuned to it on your trip from where the Crimson ship had picked up Zaya and dragged you to this location.
Okay.
If you think that you would have attuned to it during that period.
Yes. This was planned as a permanent switch, not a for this combat thing.
Then yes, you.
Okay. Just wanted to double check and make sure that I wasn't, giving myself extra bonuses.
Absolutely.
So, Amaya will begin her vicious assault.
Okay.
Why are you not? Oh. Sorry, hold on. Beyond 20 is being annoying. I'm going to turn that off since we're not using Roll20 right now.
That's fair.
Oh yeah, it's we can't find your virtual tabletop panic, that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I keep clicking on the button to roll something, and for some reason right now it's just giving me like descriptions of stuff. It's like I don't want that.
Yeah, I kind of had that yesterday when I was running Anissa. It didn't want to.
Yeah, it let me roll initiative just fine. It just wouldn't let me roll the attack, which is kind of weird. Anyways, first attack is a 24 to hit.
That will hit.
All right, so that will deal 10 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And we will be spending a key point to make him make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, and what's the DC?
DC is 17.
17. Let's see. 5. Nope, fails.
All right, so the stunning strike goes off, and he is now stunned until the end of my next turn.
Okay.
Now that he's stunned, all of my further attacks will be at advantage. So let's take attack number 2, which will be another 24 to hit.
That will hit.
For another 14 points of magic bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then we will spend another key point to do a flurry of blows. So why not? We're at advantage. 25 to hit.
That, surprisingly enough, does hit.
That will deal 13 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
Let's see. 13, you said?
Correct.
Okay.
And the last in the flurry of blows is a 22 to hit.
That will also hit.
And we'll do another 8 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Let's see. If you're incapacitated, can't take actions or reactions. Okay. And that is it for your turn?
That is it for Amaya this round.
Okay. The captain cannot do anything for its turn currently.
Mhm.
So then it starts with your turn.
I like the way this goes. And I suppose just to clarify, even though he is currently stunned, if I'd managed to successfully hit him with another stunning fist, he would then continue to be stunned until the end of my next turn, correct?
I believe the stun lock is a thing that, yes, you could potentially do, provided you want to keep burning key points to do it.
Excellent. So, first attack, he's still stunned because it's till the end of my turn, so we go with advantage. Oh, and that is a beautiful nat 20.
That misses. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, get him.
And I think I would like to, when I hit with a melee attack with the Staff of Striking, I would like to spend 3 of its charges to add 3d6 force damage to the...
Holy shit, that's a cool staff.
That is a very cool staff. Now, this is a little bit metagamey, so I'd like to get your ruling on it. It says that when I hit with a melee attack, I can expend the charges. It being a critical roll or a critical hit would double the damage dice.
Technically, you double the dice with a crit, according to 5th edition rules, so yes.
Excellent.
As you can do that with the smite for a paladin, I imagine you'd be able to do it in this situation too.
Yeah, it's the same as like a smite, absolutely.
Beautiful. So that will then be 15 points of magical bludgeoning.
Okay.
As well as 19 points of force damage.
Okay. I can do math, right? Okay.
And because I can, we want to keep him stun locked. So I'm going to spend another key point, force him to make another Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Let's see, that's +5, so 23.
Okay, so he'll make that saving throw. Second primary attack is another nat 20. Holy shit. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 more charges on that staff.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely cheering for you. I'm just also shoving my face full of food currently.
No, that's fair. That's totally fair. Okay. I have to roll that manually. So that will be 7 plus 8, 15 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And 22 points of force damage.
Oh, that makes it easy math. That's good.
And we'll go ahead and spend another key point and have him make another con save.
Let's see. Again, +5, so 19.
All right, he makes that one. We will spend 1 more key point to Flurry of Blows him with unarmed strikes. 25 to hit.
That will hit.
Or another 11 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And why the hell not? Another key point, another con save.
And got a 18.
Ugh. Getting closer to failing, but he's still succeeding. I don't like that. And the last unarmed strike with the Flurry of Blows. 28 to hit.
That will hit.
So we'll be doing another 11 points of magical bludgeoning damage. And we are going to do one more key point for one more con save.
All right, let's see what happens. Holy crap, another 18, unfortunately.
Ah,
Well, fortunately for the bad guy, not so much for
right. Lucky duck. All right, but actually, you know what? He is stunned until the end of my turn, and Amaya has not yet used a move action. So Amaya is going to move, we'll say 40 feet away from him, kind of straight back the direction she came from.
Okay.
So that will end Amaya's turn, and now he is no longer stunned.
Okay. On its turn, it disappears out of your view.
Interesting. Any perception to see if he like teleported somewhere?
Go ahead and roll perception.
Uh, 19.
No clue.
No clue. Okay. Well, that will make this a little bit harder.
Because the poor guy needs to heal.
What? Healing. That's cheating.
Really? Says the dope monk shit, stun locking monkishness.
Yeah, I only managed to stun him for a round. He doesn't stun locked anymore.
No, at any rate. So it does disappear. That will be the end of the Ultralos, or the captain's turn.
Okay. I have no idea where he is currently, which is a lot less useful. I don't really have much in gear or things to check for invisibility. So we're just going to have to do what we can and try to catch him anyways. So Amaya is going to do one of her searing sunburst light grenades and chuck it right where he was standing.
Okay.
So if he was within a 20-foot radius sphere centered on where he was standing, he'll have to make another Constitution saving throw.
Okay. A big blast of light goes off in the spot where you had last seen the individual. You do see there's like some different. I mean, even though it's radiant damage, there's some little like blast shadows of different like pieces of flora that got blast shadowed onto the ground. But no corpse that you can see.
Okay. Then hold on. Let me check one other thing here. So in the area that we're in are like houses and structures and things. Yeah.
They're like tents and like furs and things of that nature.
Okay, so not really much that would be stable to kind of stand on top of.
Like some of the crates and stuff, so like this is a big tent full of made of different hides and stuff. These are actually probably just some tarps covering some, even though they look like tents, but they were giant, so they're not like tents because a giant one, they're huge. They wouldn't be in that. They're more like tarps covering different crates, and these are just different like crates and boxes and debris.
Okay. As these would be crates that giants are moving things around in, would the crates piles be fairly high, or are they like not?
I would say they would all be at least 10 to 15 feet high.
Okay. Then I think Amaya will move to the closest one and run up it to stand on top.
You're fairly equidistant to these three. Which one would you prefer?
I will go to,
or for that matter, these ones in the back too.
We'll go to the one that's kind of straight or almost straight west.
This one?
Yeah. So I should be able to get up 10, 15 feet even with that distance. Because I can just run up the side of those crates and then stand on top.
There you go.
Oh, monk shit. And at least I'm not standing on the ground if he's trying to circle behind me and stab me in the back or something. So that... just make sure nothing else I can do. Yep, that will be Amaya's turn this round.
Okay. Kind of floating over here about 60 feet up in the air, you see this shimmering form emerge. As you see the captain kind of makes a gesture, and you see this what can only be described as like a tsunami of flame, like a wave of flame shooting towards you. And I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okie dokie. Oh, fuck. That's a nat 1.
Okay. Well, unsurprisingly, because the guy was flying up above, and whatnot, and then all of a sudden a wave of flame comes across the way, it's a little surprising. Let's see, so 17, 20, 23, and it is... So you will take 36 fire damage as the wave of fire comes over you and washes over you, and actually the kind of the different crates and boxes and things that you are on as well, pretty much destroying them. Go ahead and make a... I'll call it another... Well, no, you're a monk. Dope monk shit. Yeah, you still land on your feet amid the burning ruins of whatever it was that you were standing on.
Okay. And 36 was the full damage?
36 was the full damage.
Okay, so with evasion, I'll at least still only take half.
That is the last time it can do that.
So those temporary hit points were wonderful. I am down 1 normal hit point.
And then for its move action, it's actually going to go and fly behind the pillar. By the way, this is a big, like, stone pillar ruiny thing.
Okay.
That probably goes up truthfully probably go 60 to 70 feet up in height. Because, I mean, these were ruins made to impress giants as far as being large and impressive, so they're friggin' huge.
Sure. Is it then back to Amaya?
It is back to Amaya.
All right. Amaya is going to move 50 feet in a kind of northeasterly direction to kind of get around that other tent there, the big round one.
I apologize, I'm just catching up on a note real quick here.
No worries.
Okay, so you're heading where now? This way?
Yep, 50 feet kind of north and east to kind of flank around that round tent there.
So 50 feet would get you about there.
Okay. And then Maya will fling another light grenade so that it's kind of right next to him on the pillar there, because it's a 20-foot radius. You just got to get it close.
Yep, and as long as you can see the point, yeah, you should be able to lob one in there.
Yep, so he gets to make another Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 24.
Ugh. This bastard and his Constitution saves. All right, he makes it. And that will be Amaya's round.
Well, and here's the thing. You channeling your chi, your energy, into firing off this ball of light, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
You do see that being that arguably it's kind of a magical effect, the wave of magic on it seems to sort of wash off this guy a little bit. Not that they aren't unhurt by magic, but you're guessing that they have some resilience to it. Actually,
Gotcha.
It almost kind of reminds you a little bit of Telamon Talganis from back in Shard. Him being an abjurer had some similar flexi resistance, so to speak.
Gotcha.
As far as that goes. So let's see. It's about 60 feet up. Doesn't really have a whole lot else to do.
Wesley Crusher, come in. Ah, good data.
That is from an obscure language known as French.
Has already shown us your trick.
So he's going to drop down to about 40 feet. So that's 20 feet. 30. But is going to move closer and then starts throws his trident at you. But he's rolling with disadvantage, which means that the nat 20 does not hit. But the other roll was actually not bad. Does a 25 hit you?
Oh, yeah, 25 hits.
So that'll be for 7 piercing damage, magical piercing damage. You see then the trident disappears and reappears in his hand, and he throws it again.
Damn.
And actually throws it twice more. However, does a 18 hit you?
It does not.
Does a 20 hit you?
It does not.
So, just due to the distance and whatnot, you and your agility monkness, you manage to get out of the way, and the trident pierces into the ground, and then disappears and pierces into the ground and disappears and reappears in the captain's hand.
Actually, and a quick question. That counts as a ranged attack, right?
Yes, they would be range attacks. He's throwing the trident at you.
So on that first one, I actually want to use my reaction to deflect missiles.
Okay.
which honestly, the minimum that I can roll on that would negate the damage that I took there.
Okay.
So technically I catch the thing, but I'm
Chuck
assuming
it
it still
back.
pops back into
Chuck
his
it
hand. Yeah.
back.
It does.
Chuck it
yes.
back. Oh.
Okay. But that's fine, because I still managed to completely negate the damage that first hit did.
That you do.
Dope monk shit.
Dope monk shit. And you, granted, the captain has eyes, but doesn't have like a nose or a mouth.
Hmm.
But you get the sense that somehow they're still frowning a little bit.
Fair.
That is the end of the captain's turn. It is now your turn.
Okay, so he is now about 40 feet above the ground, yeah?
About 40 feet up and about 10, 20. So 40 feet up, and we'll say probably a total distance of about 50 feet away from you, give or take.
Okay. Is there kind of a spot on top of that tent that's right there that I could get up like 10, 15 feet? That round one? Or I guess either...
Remind me, as a monk of your level, because you're all monk, right? You haven't
Yes.
multi-class or anything?
Nope.
Can you move on surfaces that would not normally support your weight? Like,
Yes, I can run along water and vertical surfaces without falling off or checks or anything.
So yeah, no problem. You're that's about maybe 15, 20 feet of movement.
Okay, and that should put me within 30 feet of the captain, yeah?
So you're now 15 feet up, so that would drop that effectively 25 feet, and then you're still about 20 ways to 10, so that'd be about, if we scoot you to say there, you should be within 30 feet.
Okay. Well, I know that the light grenades didn't seem like they were maybe having quite as much effect, but from this range, I can fire off a volley of radiant sun bolts. So that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So, first attack is a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
And that will be 13 points of radiant damage.
Wham. Okay.
Second attack, 23 to hit.
That will hit.
With another 9 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And an 11's not going to hit. So
The 11 will not hit.
that sadly will miss.
Now, I will say this much. Your radiant damage seems to be tearing right through him, like you would normally expect it to.
Excellent.
Because technically, it's just got advantage on saving throws versus magical stuff. Doesn't do anything about other direct attacks. So.
Excellent.
So yeah. Now.
If he's using any concentration spell things to stay flying, he is also now taking damage.
Oh, he's not.
Okay. Just wanted to throw it out there in case.
Are you laughing at what I just put in the chat?
I am.
I just sent to everybody that since Rihanna knows the captain communicates telepathically, she's legit like as loudly in her head as possible and directed at him, singing whatever Eberron's version of Baby Shark is.
Does your character have telepathy?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't like she doesn't know if it's just like a he hears everything, but
And that's
yeah.
fair. I just figured I would ask.
No, but that would be fucking cool.
So just aggressively thinking baby shark at him.
Just aggressively thinking baby shark at him.
Now, here's what I'm thinking. Just imagining this. Someone needs to make a death metal version of Baby Shark.
I guarantee it exists.
Bet somebody has.
So
I'm not on screen. I will take a look.
Please investigate further. I would like to hear this at some point. Because that would be beautiful. Okay. So on the captain's turn.
There's so many metal versions of Baby Shark. I'm not even kidding.
That's fair. That's fair.
Y'all wanna play Baby Shark? Let's play Baby Shark. What the hell's Baby Shark?
Son of a.
And
I definitely just dropped the link in the Zoom chat to my very favorite extreme metal version of Baby Shark. You're welcome. Turn the volume down if you want your ears preserved. It's intense. Complete with head banging and someone wearing a shark head.
Oh, jeez.
okay, so yes, so the captain disappears, and that is it for the captain's turn. What would you like to do?
You know what? I'm just gonna do another one of the light grenades, where he'd been hovering in the air. So if he's still within 20 feet of that spot.
And you're throwing it up here where he was?
Yep, right where he was. So if he's still within 20 feet of where he was there, then con save. If not, then.
Blam, another brilliant flash of light. And, I mean, you do see some of the vegetation that's growing on the, the vines and stuff that are growing on the ancient stone pillars are kind of scorched away. There's little blast shadows of them on the You just want to get involved, don't you? You just want to get involved.
I'm not impacting combat in any way.
There's fully a reason I am off camera and muted, Brian. I'm dying over here.
Fine. So to let everybody in on just what's happening. So Rhiannon being distrustful of apparently everything these days. As soon as he blinked out the first time, Cast used her see invisibility. So she knows where he is not passing any information on. But this last time when he blinked out, she cast a message at him and was just like, I see you. And then started in with Baby Shark. It's fine.
Yeah. That's it.
No, some of those monsters. Go ahead. Some.
Tag the rest of us in.
Captain's turn. Let's do this.
Amaya's still holding her own real well.
Amaya's doing very well, actually.
She is.
No, you're doing great. I just
No. This is purely
Under no
because one
circumstances.
random wants to fuck with him.
Yeah.
I know.
And it's like, yeah, is that me interfering with combat? Summon your friends. Bring it on. Because the second you do that, the rest of us can come in and your friends are going to get a beat down while Amaya finishes you off.
Let's see. Okay, so we're going to do one of these. So, Amaya.
Yeah.
You see the captain appears, and then surrounding you is a 20-foot tall wall of fire.
Oh.
And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. 19.
Okay. Okay, so you'll take half of this, which is...
not with evasion.
Right, never mind. So all of a sudden a wave of heat hits you, but you manage to stomp down on one of the hides that pops up to help you from the intense heat or something. I don't know, dope monk shit. Anyway,
Yep.
but yeah, there is a wave of heat. You do know that and the outer edge of the tent that you're on is on fire. You know that you if you kind of went to the very center of the tent, you would be out of the range of the immediate heat coming from the wall of fire itself. However, the tent also being on fire will limit that. You may have a round or two before the fires of the tent being on fire affect you. We'll put it that way, if that makes sense. But you do see him still floating over there by the, still about 40 feet up.
Still about 40 feet up.
And the wall of fire is about 20 feet up. Your tent is about, I said about 15, we'll say for that one, because it's a bigger... You're guessing that's primarily where they kept the baby when the like effectively that tent is sort of like the baby's crib.
Okay.
Because the baby is the size of you.
Right. And the tent that I'm on is about 15 feet tall, right?
Correct.
Wall of fire is about 20 feet tall.
Correct. So I mean, it is jumpable for those who have the dope monk shit. I mean, it's a definite possibility. It's just it'd take a little effort.
Sure. Then it's also a little bit hard to see the kind of map west of the captain with the light glare. There were some things to stand on over in that area, right?
Yeah, give me just a second here. Let me see if I can alleviate some of that.
Yeah.
That
That's great. That's much better.
Okay. Tape 1. Why are you doing tape things to me right now? Like, you know how sometimes the piece of tape just wants to, like, curl on your hand, and then, like, you can't... Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Are you able to see it at least a little bit better? I realize there's still some light projecting out.
Yeah. No, I can see it a lot better, and I can at least see where the tarps and crates and things like that are.
I mean, I can try to maybe scooch it down a little bit too. A little bit anyway.
Yeah. I think this will be fine. Okay. So first things first, getting out of the ring of fire. So we're gonna do our kind of run a little bit at the edge and jump over the wall. And since he's kind of a ways away, I'm going to use
that way, this way?
Towards him.
Towards him, okay.
And we'll use a key point for Step of the Wind. So we'll dash as a bonus action and double my jump distance for the turn just to help get to him and clear the fire.
Okay. So what is your strength normally?
Strength is a 14, so a modifier of +2.
So 14, so double that would be a 28 as far as feet. So leaping 25 feet. So, okay. So call it, 5, 10, and then leaping. So 15, 20, 25, 30. Don't you even dare, you stinking math.
Just to kind of help clear that 20-foot height of the wall and to try to make sure that I'm, that 20 feet high as much on either side of the wall as possible.
So that's about 35 feet of your movement would land you there with a 25-foot leap being part of that.
Okay. And then I will continue on and run up the crates that are behind him.
Over
and
here?
That northwestern. Yep.
So what did I say? 35, so 40, 45, 50. 50 would get you right kind of on the corner.
And Step of the Wind gave me dash as a bonus action, so I've got another 50 feet that I can move.
If you need to. I suppose you got a move action. You're using your move action then?
Well, yeah, I was moving the move action to get up there, and then I still have to spend the movement to run up the side of the crates and get up to,
I see
10,
what
15.
you're saying. Okay, so, okay.
And does that put me back within 30 feet of him, or is he higher in the air now?
Nope, he's still about 40 feet up. You're within 30.
Excellent. And I'm throwing another barrage of... I guess I can only do 2 because I did a bonus action. Radiant Sunbolts.
Okay.
Ooh, 17 to hit?
That will miss.
Dang it. And 21 to hit.
That will hit.
All right, that will be 13 points of radiant damage.
Okay. He's still up.
And that will be Maya's turn.
But the sunlight is not his friend. Not even.
It is not at this moment.
Now. Does he want to be a dick?
I mean, why not?
Well, it's about 30 feet away. Well, we can give it a shot. All right. He makes another gesture towards you.
Okay.
You see the flame, the wall of flame goes away. Although this tent is effectively on fire.
Gotcha. Yep.
And all of a sudden you see the very much like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, at least from the movies, where all of a sudden the shadows deepen around the captain, much like they do around Gandalf when he's being all intimidating.
Sure.
And you see these ghostly kind of almost like apparitions of your mother and father reaching out towards you, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
The DC is 17.
Well, I got a 25.
And you manage to the apparitions seem to like they scream chasing straight at you, and they seem to sort of fly through you, and you don't it doesn't seem to have any appreciable effect.
Excellent.
And then they're going to fly up 10 and then go they fly up a little bit at an angle, so they're now about 50 feet up, and they're floating above the fiery tent of fieriness.
Okay.
And that is it for the captain's turn.
Okay. Amaya, I think. I think Amaya is going to move more or less straight east.
Okay.
Kind of get at him a little closer.
50 feet would get you to about there.
It's still a little bit longer range for the good stuff, but Amaya can just keep chucking these light grenades forever.
50 feet would get you to there. Sorry.
All right. So we'll get to there, and it's probably not going to do anything, but she can keep chucking these for free forever. So another light grenade goes off right where he's floating, and he gets to make another con save.
Okay. You got a 16.
So he actually fails that. In which case, he will take another 10 points of radiant damage.
Meow. No, it doesn't blind him or anything, right? It's just radiant. It's like a radiant fireball, basically.
I think it's just. I'll double check here, but take radiant damage. Yep, just the damage, no other effects.
Okay. Is that it for you, or would you like to do anything else?
No, I think that'll be it for Amaya.
Okay. You see the captain gestures, and another wall of flame appears on the ground around you, starting the boxes on fire and further burning the big tent, even though it was already quite a bit on fire. And I would need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
All right, another dex saving throw. Ooh, not as great. 14.
Okay, so then you're actually gonna take some burninating damage.
I will, though thankfully evasion is awesome and still halves it even when I fail.
That is a beautiful thing. Let's see. That one's okay. So that was let's see, 8, 16, 20. I can do math. 23, 25 fire damage.
Okay. Well,
And that's not the halved. That's just the full damage.
Yeah. So I have it.
And then just gonna go to there. It flies down to the hovers kind of over the point.
Okay. Do. And is that the end of his turn?
That is the end of his turn, yes.
Okay. Is there kind of a part of the tent or a part of the tarped crates by Amaya there that are not on fire enough that she can kind of get up and do another leap over the firewall?
No, well, not really, no. Everything's pretty much on fire at this point. However, as far as the structural integrity of it, they haven't like fully collapsed in flames, so there's still some structure there. So you could try to run up the wall or run up the whatchamacallit, the tent or whatever to try and make a leap out. You're probably just going to take some fire damage, and then we'll see how good the well, I'd say normally we'd have to see how good the structural integrity is, but since you're as light as a feather, it's actually not going to necessarily matter for you how savaged it is, at least at the moment, because it's still there. It hasn't like burnt. It hasn't collapsed down yet.
Right. Okay.
But I would say, like, you'd probably take some fire damage just because you're running through fire.
Right. Well, I imagine that going through the now normal real fire that's kind of incidentally on the structures is probably going to be less fire damage than running through the firewall. So yeah, Maya's going to try to vault the wall of fire again.
Okay, go ahead and make your. I'm going to say because you're kind of going. You're not necessarily on the same plane as the tip top of the fire because you're kind of running up and everything.
Right.
I'm going to actually have you roll an acrobatics on this one.
Okay.
Ouch, that was for 2 dice 6. That was surprisingly a lot of fire. So also take 10 fire damage.
Ow. And 15 on acrobatics.
Okay, you are able to get up and over without going through the wall. Are you going that way? Or are you going?
I figured Amaya's probably using the crates that she's right next to kind of vault over, so she's probably going a little bit northwest.
Northwest. Okay, so we'll go.
So probably just kind of going over to the other side of the crate than what she was on there.
15.
Oh, that would be northeast. We want northwest.
Oh, my apologies. You're right there. So 10, 20. I should say 10. So 35 would get you about, with the leap, would get you about 35 feet as far as on the other side of the little campfire. So you have about, you've used about 35 feet of your movement. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. For drinking a healing potion for yourself, did we say that was considered a move or a bonus?
I believe we said...
that would be a move action according to the notes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, we're out of the fire ring. Yeah, we're out of the fire ring, which is the most important thing. If he's casting spells like this, he's got to have a limit of those. So running these out, I think, is the better option. So to do a standard, Amaya is just going to do the move action to pop one of the greater healing potions that she's got.
Okay.
Ooh, not terribly great on those D4s. But it at least undoes the fire damage that she just took. Those. And that will be Amaya's turn.
Okay. Disappears again.
Since message is a cantrip and I can still see him anytime that he pulls that, Rhiannon's just gonna start like messaging him that he's a coward. Just trying to provoke him a little bit.
And you wouldn't do the same if our roles were reversed? Please.
No. I wouldn't. Maybe
you get
stand
the
and
telepathic equivalent of a roll of the eyes.
maybe stand and fight.
But that's all you get as far as response from that. That is the end of the captain's turn. Let me do one quick note, real quick, for a certain person that is.
There's definitely. Sorry, there's definitely an added like, if you can't beat her in a fair fight, there's just no like shame at admitting defeat.
Since he's invisible again, Amaya's not going to do too much on her turn. She's just going to grab another greater healing potion.
Okay.
Although I suppose that since it's just a move action to do that, she may as well just again throw a light grenade where he had been floating in midair.
Okay.
Just
it's
free.
You pop off a grenade, and what's your save DC?
17.
17. Okay.
Yep.
You don't hear any response as far as that goes?
Sure. And that's all Amaya is going to do this round.
Okay. You do note that the wall of fire does keep going, and now you do see, because of that intense heat that is more continuous now, now that it's more or less kind of getting hit with a blast furnace, now you do see the big tent pretty much crumbles. You see the boxes that are basically to the north of the big tent have pretty much crumbled at this point.
Okay.
You get the sense that maybe he's trying to clear the battlefield. A little bit of your of parkour elements that could be used to get out of his trap. Let's see. What else do I want to do?
It's fine. He's got to run out of magical abilities at some point.
Sure he does. Of course he does. Of course he does.
You are aware that some monsters just have at-will powers, right? Like, you know that. It's important to me that you know that.
I am aware of that.
It's gonna do a thing and will be done. Let me just do a. What are you, computer? What are you doing to me?
When her mental singing baby shark at him doesn't seem to phase him at all, Rhiannon is just gonna like stream of consciousness. Just keep until he does that. It's just gonna like stream of consciousness, just talk at him. Like literally about anything. It doesn't matter. Just she's trying to distract him in any way she can.
Fair enough. That is it for the captain's turn. Amaya, what do you do next?
I think Amaya will move a little bit south, maybe like 20 feet, so she's a little bit more in the center of the area. And then she's going to lob a light grenade that's centered about 50 feet up off the ground, right in the center of that wall of fire. So if he's hovering so if he's hovering above that wall of fire area, 20-foot radius, that should catch him based on where he's been, if that's where he went again.
And that was a 17?
17 save DC.
Okay. Again, a big flash of light. You're killing the vegetation, although between the fire and yourself, you're actually probably killing a good chunk of whole lots of stuff.
And that was up in the air, so that wouldn't have actually hit anything but air if he wasn't there.
Well, but like the pillar. Well, actually, never mind. You're too far away from the pillar. Never mind. You boom, big burst of light.
20-foot radius. Gotta love it.
Indeed.
But that is Amaya's turn.
Okay. I believe it's a 20-foot radius. Let me double check. Oh, 15-foot radius. Okay. Well, that's close enough. Amaya, you are now surrounded in darkness. Inky black darkness.
Not a fan of that.
Actually, and that is it for the big bad's turn.
Okay. Well, Amaya's primary objective is to get out of the darkness. She's not going to run east, because that's where the fire was. But I'm just going to kind of randomly determine this. Amaya is going to start moving straight north until she is out of the darkness.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm assuming you're using some caution in your movement to get out of the darkness, or are you just running pell-mell?
No, honestly, Amaya is probably thinking get out of the darkness as quickly as possible. So she's probably going her regular 50 feet around movement speed.
All right, then I would like you to go ahead and make a, we'll call it a dexterity saving throw.
25.
Okay. You do not bungle your tootsies, so to speak, by able to get out. So that's about 15 feet of movement. Technically, this ring is a 20-foot radius, but it's
Gotcha.
Darkness is a 15-foot radius. You get the idea. So you are out of the kind of immediate area of darkness. You see that the wall of flame is gone, but obviously these things are super on fire. There's
Sure.
lots of smoke and kind of horribleness.
Has the captain appeared anywhere?
Go ahead and make I'm going to say a perception check with disadvantage just due to the smoke and the chaos and everything.
Okay. Still amazing. 24.
You see there is some movement kind of behind the pillar about 50 feet up.
Okay.
You're not 100% certain if it's the captain or not.
Well, then Amaya will start heading east, because there should still be a path that's not actively on fire in between the things that are on fire, yeah?
Yeah, as far as where the wall of fire had hit this area, like the ground vegetation has pretty much been burnt to ash. So, I mean, but there's not any real active fires. The only active fires are on the debris.
And how much movement speed was it to get out of the darkness again?
So about 15 to get out.
Okay. Then Amaya will start moving, and I guess go the rest of the 35 feet east.
So 30, 35 would get you to about there.
Oh, sorry, I meant 35 more feet for a total of 50.
Oh, okay. So 10, 20, 30, 35. So you'd get to about there.
Really? That's 35 feet from where Amaya just was?
Yeah, so 15 and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, sorry, 25, 30. So you'd be right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're 35 feet east from where we just were, outside of the inky darkness.
Correct.
Being a little bit closer to that pillar, can Amaya tell if that is the captain that was moving there?
It appears to be, yes.
All right, and we still have a standard action, so another light grenade centered on him. Another Constitution save.
May I ask, what's the range on that?
150 feet.
Okay.
If there would have been any question of whether he was close enough, I would have brought it up, but...
Does a 17 make it?
Oh, the DC is 17, so just barely.
The captain flex. All right.
By the skin of his... What? Okay, he doesn't have a mouth, but does he have teeth?
No.
Probably not.
Does not.
All right, well, the skin of his something. I don't know. But that's Amaya's turn.
Well, second verse, same as the first. Darkness goes away, wall of fire. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep. 19.
That will make it, so I don't even have to roll.
Nope.
At this point, you kind of get used to the gestures and when of when he's casting and when he goes.
Is the captain bloodied? Like, what am I looking at here?
Oh yeah, the captain is pretty savage and is full of burns, different from the different light bolts and other things that Amaya's been smacking with, and you do see this kind of like purplish blood or ichor sort of from several of the punches and hits, and yeah, I mean the captain is definitely beat the hell up.
Okay. And is Amaya looking okay?
After those 2 healing potions, Amaya is back to being down 1 regular hit point.
Okay. Cool. That's all I needed. Thank you.
And that is it for the captain's turn.
Okay. And the crates and tents and things in this area are all just completely collapsed, right?
Yes, they are collapsed on fire. Unfortunately, there are no parkour things other than. Although now that makes me wonder if you could try to parkour off a wall of fire. I mean, when you're high enough a monk level, I mean, one would argue you'd probably still take the fire damage, but I could see it potentially.
I mean, it's no more intangible than water.
Well, it's probably less intangible than water because it's just fire. So technically, it wouldn't be that you'd be running up the wall of fire. It'd probably be the smoke.
Yeah, and while I can walk on water, I don't think I can walk on smoke, so.
Fair enough.
Probably not. It would be cool.
It would be cool. And so any D&D creators out there, to increase the order of the parkour needs to make it where you can run up. You can run up fire.
Oh.
But that won't be broken at all.
Jiminy Christmas.
Not even in the slightest.
Ba-doop boop boo.
My dog was just giving me the biggest, like, grunt of stretching, like, oh, I'm bored. So anyway, it was just entertaining.
All right. Well, you said that with the size of the ring, as long as Amaya is kind of in the middle, she wouldn't take damage, right?
Yeah. So if you like 5 foot step for like better term, as long as you're in like these 4 squares, you won't be taking any fire damage.
Okay. Then for now, Amaya is just going to kind of hunker down in the center there and kind of try to pick her way through any burning collapsed edges of the tent there. And is going to launch another light grenade at where he had been floating behind that pillar.
And a 17 again, just barely.
Ah,
sorry, man.
It happens. But that will be Amaya's turn for now.
All right. Well, that's concentration. That's concentration. That's concentration.
Well, it's kind of part of the strategy that as long as he keeps this up, he can't cast any other concentration spells.
That's concentration. I mean, that one's not concentration.
I would like to do a thing when I would like to do a thing.
What would you like to do?
Seeing this back and forth, and bearing in mind that Gavin he doesn't have see invisibility like Rhiannon has, but he does have dark visions. Like, he can see through the darkness and whatever, and is kind of watching the stuff that's going on and kind of seeing the way that the thing goes and seeing how fucked up the captain is and how not fucked up Amaya is. I think Gavin is going to kind of climb up on, because I imagine we're kind of back maybe watching from one of the ships. Gavin's going to climb up on one of the railings and just shout at the captain. And he's going to just yell, "I've done the math. You're going to lose. Giving up is a valid option."
Well, now, do I just have to beat him, or was this a fight to the death?
You don't know. Didn't say specifically.
He might know. If can I do is
anyway,
there any kind of persuasion or anything like that I could throw
persuasion.
on there? Okay.
I'll say go ahead and roll a straight persuasion roll.
Okay. Okay, here we go. 29 net 20!
Hot damn! That is glorious.
What was the total with the nat 20?
Nat 20 was a total of 29.
29. Okay. Crap. Whose turn was it? Was it the captain's?
Yeah, Amaya had just done the light grenade. You were looking through the list of spells to see what wasn't concentration.
Right. You see the Gavin, you actually see the captain kind of look over at you for a moment and then kind of look at the trident that they're holding in their hands and then kind of look down at what you see is this big wall of fire, which you believe Amaya was in last time you saw her, although right now it's, obviously occluding her. And you see after a few moments, the captain does float down to the ground and gestures, and Amaya, you do see the ring of fire goes away.
Okay.
Rhiannon will 100% message the captain and just be like, so you listen to him, asshole.
Amaya, what do you do? It is your turn.
Amaya will kind of stay. You know what? Actually, Amaya's going to kind of stay guarded, but stand where she is. And she is going to use. Was that an action or bonus action? Well, either way, she's basically using her turn to mind link with the captain. And just kind of privately ask him, should I take this to mean that you are conceding this fight?
And you see the captain nods.
And Maya will just kind of nod back and then kind of calmly start slowly walking over towards him.
Okay. And he nods and he kind of sets his trident like butt down, so he's not in necessarily an aggressive stance, but you can still tell a very cautious stance as you approach. Just, you are approaching him, but otherwise does not appear to be threatening.
Okay. Well, as he's told me that he is conceding the battle, Amaya will kind of get up to him and offer out a hand and say, well fought.
And he takes your hand and shakes it. Indeed, you are as agile as the legends say.
You yourself are quite hard to pin down.
Yeah, I have my secrets. And you get sort of the telepathic version of a smile. Kind of a...
And then Amaya will just kind of usher him and start walking towards the rest of the group again now that he has surrendered.
You do see the captain kind of puts a hand on your shoulder for a moment just to stop you.
Yeah.
And you hear, Volstagg and his group will continue taking you to where you need to go. I find myself in the unique situation of not knowing what's going to happen next. And you see the captain actually kind of jams the trident down to like let it stand there, and then removes a kind of this necklace that looks like it's made up of not like not jewelry in the sense of like precious metals and gems, but it's more like almost like worn beads and some critter teeth of various kinds, things of that nature. Very like serrated sort of teeth, very jagged, and but you see is kind of the center, sort of the center of this necklace appears to be this sort of opalescent, sort of almost like opal-like, I would say, like kind of stone.
Okay.
That has like a more or less like a hole sort of drilled through it at some point, and kind of fastened to the rest of the necklace with some. It's all kind of done up together with like the equivalent of like some hemp string, as far as kind of as far
Sure.
as the quality goes. And he hands it to you.
I will accept it.
And says, "You, for sparing my life and agreeing to the terms of this trial, I will gift you this. It will allow you one time, by shattering the stone, to summon me forth."
A most generous gift. Thank you. I will keep it close.
Thank you. And then you see the just kind of turns and looks towards the jungles, and then just looks back at you and nods, and then just kind of and then disappears.
Actually, as he's kind of starting to go, I will go, a moment, if you will. And then we'll kind of quickly go and grab, or kind of quickly put together, a Zaya fragment necklace.
Oh, okay.
And offer that to him.
Okay.
It is not quite as distance free as your gift, but if you are close enough to Zaya when she is recovered, you can use that to reach out to her. She can reach out to me wherever I am, and if you need anything, we will do our best to help.
And he just kind of nods and adds it to. Again, he's got several different necklaces, so adds it to the next thing.
Sure. And Amaya will put the necklace that he gave on herself as well.
Okay. And then with that, he disappears. And for the rest of you, you kind of see, because admittedly some of this was kind of happening behind the pillars a little bit. You see Amaya kind of walk out of the pillars, actually walks out from around the fiery ashes of what was left of the campsite. Very cool guys walk away from explosions kind of deal, and approaches the ship. You see the captain has is no more or has disappeared.
Well, as persuasive as ever, it seems the captain did decide that ultimately the battle was lost and conceded gracefully. So, we shall, I take it, soon be on our way to where we need go. If the giants are kind of nearby, it's kind of, directed at them.
You see the Volstagg, the one that was kind of the mouthpiece for the giants, like, then hurry up and get on board, little one.
I'll kind of nod, gesture to everybody, and start heading back aboard.
And you see the giants, the Volstagg has this look like, you get sort of the intent like they want to squash you, but they just kind of be grumpy and then goes to the rudder and then begins to steer the ship, and you see the fog bank sort of encloses the ship again, much like before. As you, even though you're on this impossibly small river that should in no way, shape, or form be able to navigate allow a boat of this size, now that it's giant-sized, to swiftly pass through, but you kind of get lost in the fog of the Crimson Ship. And you know what? We can maybe let's go ahead and take a quick break there. Maybe that'd be a good
Sure.
break point.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily need to do a super huge break because I don't. Granted, well, I don't necessarily know how much longer we'll be going because some of this will depend a little bit on everybody being there, but I can at least get us started. But
Sure.
so let's maybe
with 2 players down, this might be just a good place to call it.
Well, there's one thing I want to do before we end it for today. So okay. Tell you what, we'll just keep going through.
Okay.
We'll just keep going through, and then I think we'll be okay. It shouldn't take us too much longer. So the ship departs. You guys are taken along. Volstagg does kind of look down at the rest of you and kind of suggests that for now you'll want to get on board your ship. I will take you where you need to go. You will not be harmed. Per the arrangements.
Very well.
Now I see why the captain called it a curse. And then proceeds to go back and sits the rudder and kind of sulks because, like, you get the sense that Volstagg is starting to realize now, finally, like, what becoming the captain of the Crimson Ship actually means, and is not as happy with the deal as they maybe were to begin with.
Gotcha.
But I will say effectively a day does go by, so everyone is able to get a long rest.
Woo!
Just in case at the beginning of that day, I'll do another inspiring speech, so 17 temporary hit points.
Okay. And you kind of wake up to the bellowing voice of Volstagg kind of yelling back towards your ship. as you feel, in fact, even a little, as you start to notice as you're going, it almost feels like the ship's jostling against a little bit, like its own, like it seems to be brushing up against something every once in a while. It definitely feels, in some ways, a little bit similar to how you felt when you started to appear on the river, as it were. But you know that that you appeared in the river in Zendrick, although that was very much more of a kind of a sandy or even a kind of a clay bottom, where it was much of a more smooth transition. Where this feels a little bit more rocky, for lack of a better term. But you hear Volstagg yell out, "Prepare yourselves! Your destination has arrived!" And then takes a big axe and chops the lines that connect Zaya to the Crimson Ship. And you, in doing so, you see kind of the two things seem to happen kind of simultaneously. You see the Crimson Ship sort of disappear in a fog bank that kind of turns into a cloud and then turns into nothingness. But what you immediately feel is this sort of drop as you see the front end of Zaya as the fog dissipates, or actually the fog isn't even dissipated, it's still kind of surrounding you. But you feel this lurch as the front of Zaya kind of tips down at a fairly steep angle, and you hear this sort of grating sound of her hull scraping up against something, which you're guessing is probably fairly rocky due to the fact that as some of the fog starts to dissipate, you see you're somewhat surrounded by stone, moss-covered stone, and whatnot. You do hear the sounds, though, of rushing water beneath you, beneath Zaya, I should say. And there is a little bit of kind of just a little bit of a creak here and there every once in a while as the body of Zaya sort of settles in, as it were. And as the fog does start to dissipate a bit, you see that what appears to be this kind of down below you, because you can see it with the tilt of the ship, you see this looks like a valley with several this valley sort of surrounded by mountains, very close together mountains. It's the valley is almost kind of almost like partially hidden in the shadow of these mountains, although apparently it's getting some sunlight, because you see there are terraced gardens built almost like into the side of some of the hills that make up the lower valley. You do also see actually built into, it looks like, some of the almost like built on the side of the cliff face or of some of these mountains. You see it actually looks like buildings, almost sticking out with slated roofs with a slight curve to them, very reminiscent of what you would see with more of your Asian themed fantasy, or like the pagoda like structures, and very similar, reminiscent of Japanese and Chinese architecture. And you realize that Zaya is wedged. The body that is Zaya is wedged and sitting slightly on top of what appears to be like a waterfall that probably falls for a good 200 feet down to this valley below. And Amaya, even though you've not been to this particular place before, at the same time, it feels immediately familiar as you recognize that you are definitely in a Dar.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's where we'll leave it. Never mind. So
I'm here for it.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us and watching today. As always, go check out Kit's stream, Seven Tail Fox, Tale, as that is what they like to collect, as he is wont to say. They do a lot of really cool gaming streams. When there isn't already voices to do the narration, he does the narration, and he does a wonderful job. Seriously, you have a future in voice acting.
Aw.
And then you'll become my link to Critical Role. So get on that shit.
There it is.
there you go.
Don't you know that my friends are just, my friends because they can do stuff for me? That's how that works, right? I'm kidding. You know I love you all. Also go check out Epic_Realms. Our friend Nick does a lot of really cool gaming stuff. He does a lot of cool podcast and interview stuff. He does TTRPGs, he does video games, he does all manner of different things, so go check him out as well. As always, we will be back in 2 weeks' time. If that is to change, check my Instagram because I refuse to use Twitter anymore. And I will update accordingly there if anything is to change, but I doubt it will. So, thank you very much. I hope you all had a wonderful time. I know I had fun, even though I just got to sit on sidelines and watch for the most part. We love you all. Take care of yourselves, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Bye.